Hey, what's going on, gamers? This is Gamer Guide and Rollin in Robocraft, and today we're going to be looking at my new helium flyer. This is the Andromeda Combat Drone, something I put together kind of in competition with my very own Electro Zeppelin I just released. And this time I wanted to try to use all TX1 plating, which I accomplished in doing here, and still make it just as viable. So it still uses 6 plasma cannons, still uses helium. Instead of TX1 blocks, however, I went with more arrow rods, and I used the rest as the Tier 10 orange cubes, basically. This actually has maybe a little bit stronger forward thrust, as you have 4 Tier 10 thrusters that give it forward propulsion, and it has a little bit better turning too with Tier 10 turning thrusters. It is reached a higher top speed of about, I think it was 255 miles an hour, and it's also, of course, a little tougher because you got a little bit better coverage on your electroplating versus the other one. I would say it doesn't handle quite as well as the Electro Zeppelin. Not that it handles bad, it's just that I think the Electro Zeppelin is a little bit more intuitive initially when you start flying it, but once you get the hang of this, it's a lot of fun and does very well, and it's a little faster, a little bit better armored than the Electro Zeppelin. So let's take a look at it real quick. We're going to not only be showing you a game here, I'll be trying to play here to see how this does again. I've had a couple matches already, but I want to play one more here for you guys on camera. But at the end of this, I'll also go ahead and do the build for it. But here at the beginning, I'm just giving you a quick glance if you don't want to stay for the build, just so if you want to try to build something like this for yourself, you can. The canopy, the roof here, has most of your thrusters on it, so it's Tier 10 for turning and forward propulsion, and then that's counterbalanced here at the bottom with your Tier 10 thruster, so you don't have it flipping around. It only uses one Tier 6 fin, which is inside here by the cockpit, totally armored up, of course. I mean, you could theoretically hit it here through the groove, but you have to be waiting and a very good shot to be able to get that. What else? There's a little bit bigger ejector seat. I'm using a Tier 4 thruster now on the ejector seat versus the Tier 2. So there it is. You can kind of see it right there on the bottom. What else can I tell you on the framing here? Uses a lot of TX1 for suspension, or not TX1, a lot of these arrow rods, the Tier 10 arrow rods for suspension and also for gun mounts. I tried a couple different configurations with the gun, but I like this one a lot, where it just comes out and curves down, as I feel like the downward guns are going to be the most useful and provide the most accuracy. I did try side mount guns a little lower, but I felt like putting it up here with the helium on that same level made it fly a little bit better, as there wasn't as much weight hanging down below the access point. So it turned out to be a pretty good little maneuverable craft. I just threw a little decorative windshield in there. It's one of the very few decorative things on this. I did throw a speedometer on it just to kind of indicate how fast we're going. I think that's a lot more useful than the altimeter, personally, as I can usually just eyeball it, to see where my shots are going, and I do pretty well with that. The only thing I say that this is missing is a radar. Would have been real nice. I just kind of ran out of CPU, but I wanted it to have reverse. So instead of having it only go one direction and turn, which would probably have been fine, honestly, because it turns so quickly, I decided to put 2 rear thrusters, or the Mark 6 thrusters, basically, to give it a little bit of slowdown or rear maneuverability if you lose some of your critical engines and stuff like that, instead of having a radar. I don't know if that was the right move. If you guys think that you like the idea, and maybe instead of having the rear thrusters, you just make a little canopy and throw a radar here in the middle, that'd be a great spot for it. There's, I think, a couple other places you could possibly mount a radar too, in by the cabin, right there where the, I don't know if you could put it there, but you could put the little speedometer up on the front, and then probably move the pilot seat a little bit, or do something in the back here to give it a little extra room for that radar. But anyway, that's just a little bit on the design. Here, I guess I'll pull out one of these. I know some of you guys like me doing that, just to show you how things sit inside. But these plates basically sit on the arrow rods to give it suspension right there, and you can see it uses the helium along the top, and it has these little corner configurations on each of the 4 corners. And let's see what else. Each of these is kind of layered off its own little mount points on these plates. So that's why I really like the TX plates when it comes to making little flyers and stuff. It has like 3 different layers of mount plates, and each is kind of held on by its own section. So you'd really have to lose all 4 of the plates to lose the bottom section and the top section. And when that happens, I've actually set up the pilot seat too to have that ejector that has a fin and 2 upward thrusters, so it gives you like a little mini vehicle that gives you a little bit better chance to maybe get back to base. And even if that gets blown off, you still have your tier 4 thruster on the bottom. So anyway, I thought it looked pretty cool. It does look a little bit sci-fi, and that's why I kind of like the name the Andromeda Combat Drone. I was just looking actually at some scientific kind of stuff about the galaxy the other day, and it kind of, when I heard the name Andromeda, I thought it was really cool, and it inspired me to put something together that would be big and kind of imposing, and so that's why I decided to name it the Andromeda, and then the Combat Drone is kind of followed up with it. I was going to call it Combat Droid, but it is sort of a drone, so I like that. Anyway, let's go over to watch a match real quick here. I'll go ahead and pause it here, and when we get into the match, I'll come back. All right, we are back, and I'm just going to wish everybody good luck here, and let's get started. So this is, I think, the third match I've played with this thing, and it still takes me a second to get used to the flying mechanics of it when I first start out, but it's pretty easy to get the knack of. You just have to know how much to press the space bar to kind of nose up, and the nose down, of course, shift. By default, it might be different on other people's computers. I've noticed it is sometimes. We got Bacon on our team. Seem to remember Bacon from games before. I think he was a pretty good player. And we got a cool little gunner down there. I like that electroplate configuration with the tier 8s on top. There we go. Got those knocked off. Didn't get credit for it though, so that kind of is unfortunate. Well, let's see if we can nuke this guy in the face. Alright, he got a little piece of me there. That didn't look like any damage happened. It's a nice thing about these TX1 plates, and then also being a drone, you don't have the predictability of other flyers. You can kind of stop and start and back up and hide behind rocks like this, so it's a nice little way to play a flyer, I think, and something I like about the drones. So, and now with the helium cost being so low on drones, I've been having fun kind of trying my hand at a couple different things, because you can make them so out of the box. You know, you don't have to make another version of a helicopter or another version of a airplane. You can be a little more creative in some ways. There we go, and nuke that dude in the butt. Ooh, that was a nice shot he got on me. I think he actually did some damage on that one. Yeah, he knocked off one of my guns. And got me again. Try to trade with him a little bit. Now let's see. I got my forward propulsion knocked off, but I still got my bottom thrusters, and actually it seems to be doing pretty well. It's not wobbling too bad with just the bottom thrusters. Ooh, that was a nice little shot. I always thought about doing that, like banking the shot off the shield right as somebody goes in to get him. And if I could kill someone like that, that'd be pretty awesome. All right, we got a plane up above. Oh, he didn't see me. I thought for sure he was going to try to drop some bombs on my face. But we will come back and see if we can't do that to him. There we go. Crisp little shot. That is like the smallest flyer I've seen in a while, too. It looks literally like a stick figure of an airplane. All right, here's another guy. Let's see if we can get his propellers knocked off. Will he notice me? Perhaps, perhaps. Looks like his guns are looking around for me right now. Ooh, okay, he found me. Now he's kind of up there. I'd have to... The thing about this is the hover height on the Andromeda is not as high as the Electro Zeppelin. You have to nose your whole vehicle up and then use the tier 10 to really gain elevation. And then even then, it's not going to stay up at the top height. So it has like a... It will stay there for a little while, but it has a natural drift downward. He's still trying to get me. Let's see if I can't pull a good shot on him here. Oh, so close. Almost clipped his little legs off. We can at least get that dude. Oh, nice. He's still at me. So the one weakness on this, of course, is having an exposed top. But, you know, being here near the shield, I'll just go ahead and get back in. Alright, well, you got a couple good shots on me. But even if you do it and you're right above the shield, you can just drop in with your little ejector seat. And it certainly doesn't take very long to heal back up. I'm guessing this thing is a little bit more in the way of parts than my other one, but I'll put all the details of what's going to go into this in the garage after this match, so you can see exactly what you're going to need to put it together, and how many parts and all that kind of good stuff the Andromeda is. I usually work that out after I do the build video. There we go. Snap these protonium crystals off here. So the other thing I like about this is on both the Electro Zeppelin and this, you can just hover right above your target, and you don't have to try to, deal with the drift and stuff like that from the helicopter blades, or have to fly in circles with the airplane. That's the worst thing about an airplane. So if you can't fly super duper slow, you got to come back and circle around again. All right, last shot. There we go. How are we doing so far? Everybody's at about, what, 6? We got 1.5 and 1.7. Ascension GT seems to be doing pretty good. This just got another kill or so right now. Alright, let's come over here and snap these crystals off. That'd have been sweet if I could have got it on the first pass. Alright. And a shot on the other side. There we go. We're back in business.
Clock cycle booster activated.
Alright, get that helicopter again. I think it's the same guy that was giving me problems earlier.
Plasmacopter spotted.
Yep. That's why you gotta have 8 rotors if you're gonna do rotors. Both on my Rotoraven and Rotorath. That's one thing I like, is very, very hard for any single railgunner to take me out, take my mobility out, which is always kind of what they go for since they're so easy to hit.
Plasma bomber spotted.
And on this one, you can rotate pretty quickly, so if you do start getting hit by rail shots and you have time, or you're concerned about it, you can always suspend your robot. Ooh, that was a close one.
Your bottom fusion
Singed my robo hairs. Is that dude? Okay, that's the tier 10 orange. I was like, is that a tier 4 orange? I was going to feel real sorry for him, but yeah, there's no way. That's a tier 10 one. But you can't hit me. Don't steal my kill. I totally deserve this kill. You bastards. You bastards. Wow. Alright, there's all kinds of little flyers right in my vicinity. Let's see, can we get this plane out of the way again? Nope, not quite. And he got one of my plates off, but I think we're going to be able to fly in to recover. Let's see if we can get a couple hits on this guy as we come in. He's almost dead. Can we finish him off with our 2 guns? No. Close though. That was definitely assist-worthy right there. Alright, let's get our armor and thrusters back and guns. And let's go. I'm at 9 right now. Let's see if we can stop these guys from taking our stuff. There's our medic. Let's nuke this dude. There we go. Now we'll slow him down a little bit. Got another flyer up above. See if we can't hit him. There we go. And see if we can get him again here from the back. Nice. He's got to be hurting now. He's taking 2 plasma shots. One more. Now he's got, like, no rotors. What the hell is he flying with? He's got scotch tape and a toothpick holding his helicopter together, but yet he continues to survive. That's some good engineering there. If you can take 3 plasma blasts and still be relatively in one piece, minus some rotors. Oh, that was a good sniper shot. I hardly even noticed. He just exploded. It was like a single shot kill. Alright. Let's start nuking their base a little bit now. So you guys can see, I mean, this thing's working pretty good. Alright, finally got someone shooting at us. No, we're pretty maneuverable. We can nose up and down. We can use all these little obstacles here for cover. And even when we get tossed around, we can still recover pretty easily. Ooh, that plane got owned. And these guys are just getting wrecked this game. Kind of feel sorry for this team. Alright, let's nuke him again. And probably one more shot should do it. I think we got a little damage on him. That is a pretty tough little plasma tank. Alright, here we go. We got Mr. SMG coming back in for some murder. Unfortunately, little does he know, I'm hiding around the corner. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I got a little damage, just that one thruster. It turns a little wonky, I've noticed, if you knock out one of the corner thrusters for turning. Not that it's impossible to control or anything, it's just I like it better with it on there. So we'll take the time to fly back and get that couple of parts put back on. It is pretty hard to hit those thrusters if you're up high enough, so you should probably keep your altitude up a little bit when you come in hot on some of these guys here. There we go. See if we can't get that freebie. There we go. Thank you for that kill. And maybe this guy too. What is that exactly? I don't even remember seeing that guy before.
Plasma bomber spotted.
Whatever it is, he's trying to get away, and that wasn't a good strategy. Alright, got our SMG friend again. Plant run right in the middle of his vehicle. And one more. Ouch. Doesn't feel very good. No means no. No touchy. Alright, let's go back to the base. I'm trying to deprobe my drone. It's not cool. So this is a little wonky when you lose a little bit of the plates, but it's certainly still controllable. You can get it back over there. Just let it drift too, you know, just a little tap here and there will keep it going forward until you hit those rear thrusters. There we go. We'll come back out now. And their base is about halfway dead. So, here we go. See my teammates commenting on how much they're getting owned in the face. Alright, let's take out this SMG. It's kind of a miss, but the healer can go. Alright. And now the SMG can die. There's a lot of murder happening in this game. 18 kills, 0 deaths. That's pretty damn good, Bacon. I'm not going to be up at that. But I don't think I've died yet. I've come close. I got shelled pretty early there in that ejector seat. Did kind of save my butt that one time. So, but of course, this is the third game I've played with this thing, so still kind of getting used to it. One thing I've noticed is if you slow down a little bit or you take your finger off forward and you press the spacebar to thrust up, it does it a lot better. You know, thrusts up almost immediately or noses up. So that's one way to go about it. The down's not a problem at all. There we go. Oh, somebody got him right before I was going to hit him. Damn it. Alright, let's take out some more of this protonium. These guys are just getting slaughtered. No heals. You need an Electromantis. Not those open roof designs. Those are no good for you. Plus you gotta move around more too when you're a healer. Alright, let's knock this last crystal off. Can I get it? Ah, damn it. Oh, somebody managed to get it. Awesome. Well, that was a pretty decisive game, I'll say. I don't know if it was necessarily a good game, but our team totally ran over their face. So, good game to everybody, especially Bacon. Holy crap. 25 kills, 0 deaths. That is awesome. I thought my little 12-0 was pretty good, but 25? I gotta give him some props on that one. I guess if your name is Bacon, you're probably going to be awesome. So, I'm glad he lived up to his awesome name. Bacon Lover, to be more specific. Alright guys, well that's it. Let's go to the build garage now and get ready to put this together for ourselves. Okay, here's the list of parts you're going to need, and feel free to substitute in your own Tier 10 cubes if you don't want to pay the extra money for those orange cubes. The reddish black ones work just fine, or you can use matte black if you want to go for a different style. I just happen to like the blue and orange look together. If you guys are new here on the channel, please take this time and subscribe. I'd appreciate that very much. And all the thumbs up are always appreciated, and comments as well. Always looking for those. I'd like to hear what you guys are up to in Robocraft. Alright guys, let's head over to the garage and we'll start on putting this together. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, let's get started by naming our creation. I chose Andromeda Combat Drone, but I do like hearing what you guys come up with as well. Had my last robot named by one of my viewers ruin your day, so I'm always looking for cool names. We'll start by putting this first block 8 back from the end, and it's going to be one of these prisms faced towards the front of the arrow, the flat side faced that way. That's just a temp block actually, because we're going to be putting this other one right here, this prism right there, and then we're going to be deleting that temporary block just so we have it facing the right way. That's actually where the pilot's going to go a little later. These 3 are also temporary prisms, and we're going to be putting these upside down against it, like that, and then deleting the temps. So that row right there is not actually attached to the other one. This is kind of free-floating because of the suspension blocks. Alright, we're going to put 2 of the prisms facing sideways to the back. And let's go ahead and lift it just by 1. Now we're going to put a couple inners underneath here. You can lift it up another one if you can't quite get it to stick on there on the back. But 1 inner there and then 1 attached to that, right underneath it. And then we're going to just put down another temp block so we can turn this inner the right way and then delete it. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put down some more temporary blocks, sort of like we did before by putting 3 of these prisms down so we can turn the other ones upside down with the flat side facing up, like this. And then we'll go ahead and delete those temporary 3 prisms we put on the floor. You can use any temp blocks if you don't have a lot of those. And then here on the side we're going to turn 2 prisms sideways. This will be a connecting area later for our guns. It's not actually attached to the frame where the pilot sits. Let's go ahead and lift it up 2 spaces by using your period and comma keys, and in the shadowed area underneath we're going to place 3 more prisms with the flat side faced out, like that. Alright, now we can lift this up a little bit more. Give yourself enough room to get underneath it. So I bring it up to about where the name is here in the garage. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and connect this bottom level together using some of the tetras here first, and then some prisms underneath it, faced each other. We'll put 1 inner between them, connecting them. And then on the front, we're going to put 2 more of the tetra and 1 more prism on the outside. And then we're just going to mirror this exact same thing around on the other side. So again, going back to tetra, I'm going to put 2 of those connected together, then a prism underneath it. There we go. Another inner connecting them, just like the other side. And on the outside, we're doing 2 more of the tetra and 1 more prism, connecting those together. This is going to be a mount for our Tier 10 thrusters in just a little bit. Alright, we have a little bit more to do here on the bottom though. We're going to add 2 more prisms, and this will be a mounting arm for our arrow rods. We're going to put 1 across the midsection like that, and now we're using the curved ones. Put 2 on the sides, and then 1 on the front and the back, or the back and the front, respectively. And then we're going to go ahead and put our Tier 10 thrusters, and they sit right on that prism on the outside. There we go. Alright, now we're back up to the next level. We'll put 1 of these prisms on the back. This is where we're going to put our rudder a little bit later. Now we're going to run a couple temporary blocks out. And then here on the underside we'll put 1 prism. And then we'll go ahead and we'll use this as a temp real quick. So we can turn this again sideways like we have on the back. There we go, just like that, to kind of mirror the other side. Get rid of that. Alright, then we're going to put another 1 of these tetra here on the inside. And then we'll go ahead and connect that to that one on the bottom with another prism. There we go. So that just kind of protects the pilot seat row on the front and the back. I'll get rid of these temp blocks. There we go. Now we go and put our pallet on. So we'll stick them right there with the rear connection point on the middle row. And let's go ahead and put our ejector seat on. We're using a Tier, or a Mark IV rather, 1 this time. So we'll stick it right there on the bottom. And it turns a lot of our craft red, as you see, but that's good that it shows that none of that is connected to the pilot seat area, which is actually what we want. So make sure everything that's red here is red on yours. Now we're adding some more of the short arrow rods on to the frame that's orange, and then some more tetra. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put on our electroplates. These are the TX1 electroplates, and they fit right there on the arrow rods we just placed down. So do that. It will be on the bottom one here on the front side. There we go. And they should be snug up next to each other, front and back side. These are our Mark 6 thrusters. This will give us nose-up ability. We'll go ahead and put our Mark 6 rudder on the back here too. And it just faces up with the flat side up. And now let's go ahead and add on our helium. We're going to put 2 on each of these little connection points on the top row of the plates. So 2 on each of these, just like that. Alright, so now we're going to connect the front and back together with an inner and a cube. Now we're using a tetra, another inner, put another tetra here, and then a prism. And that should give us what we need. Now we'll go ahead and put our short arrow rods going through the electroplates and a curved one outside of that, and that will be our top mount guns here in a little bit. Alright, these are going to be temporary blocks right here. Just putting 2 of these down so we can stick this one on the way we need to, and then just go ahead and delete those. And then in between it, we'll put 1 cube. And underneath that, we're going to put just a decorative windshield. You don't necessarily have to put that if you don't want to. You can add something else on, like a flag or something. And then I'm going to put this speedometer, which is also optional if you don't have one. Don't sweat it. You can use whatever you like, maybe a flag or an extra block somewhere if you're choosing. Alright, I turned off the mirror line tool by accident there, but put 2 prisms on either side of the pilot there. And then turn off the mirror line tool to put this last short arrow rod, otherwise it won't mount. So it should be like that. And then on the corners here, we're going to put tetra again to mount our tier or our Mark 10 thrusters. I'm working on it, guys. I'm still addicted to saying tier. Alright, and then here we're going to put Mark 4 thrusters for downward nose dip when we're trying to go forward. These are our reverse thruster, and also helps us tilt the nose up too. If you press backwards and spacebar at the same time, you nose up really fast. And then these are all tier 10 thrusters for turning and for forward propulsion. Okay, now all we have to do is just throw on our Mark 10 plasma launchers here on all the connection points. Should have 6 of them in total. But that's going to wrap things up for this episode. Thank you for sticking around and building my Andromeda combat drone, or whatever you decided to name it, of course. And I hope it brings you a nice sci-fi option to the regular flyer, and it's a lot of fun and brings you those RPs you need. Please let other people know about this channel, and please take the time to like and leave a comment below. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Later.